सेवित सुरेंद्र महनीय गुणशीलं जप तप समाधि सुख वरदानुकूलं सेवित सुरेंद्र महनीय गुणशीलं जप तप समाधि सुर वरदानुकूलं पालित सुर मुनि भक्त गण परिपालं भयंकर विशंग मातंग कुल कालं श्री विघ्नराजं भजे श्री विघ्नराजं भजे.
Is on the dais, off the dais, and all the delegates, very good afternoon to each one of you. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the National Youth Conference, which is jointly organized by NITI, deemed to be University NSS unit and Akanksha Charitable Trust. We had a wonderful panel discussion in the morning. Mr. Praveen Kalbhavi, a co-founder and the CEO of Novigo Solutions. Welcome you, sir. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. M.S. Muditaya, supposed to join with us, but due to the commitment at the university, he couldn't make it. But he sent the best wishes to all of us. On behalf of all the members and the organizing team, I wanted to, instead of welcome, I wanted to thank him at this moment. Replacing his place, I was behind at the university officials. Then later, I found the right person. We have Professor Dr. Suma Ballal, the Deputy Registrar of NITI Deemed University. I welcome you, ma'am. I also acknowledge the presence of, we had a wonderful panelist, Mr. Dikshit Rai, founder and CEO of Codecraft, and Atish Jain, co-founder and director of sales from AgriLeaf Exports. So then we have Professor Dr. Narayan Charlu, is the principal of our pharmacy college at this campus. I welcome you, sir. I also acknowledge the presence of Guru Nandan Rao, who is the founder and director of Hands-on CSR. I welcome you, sir. We are going to have a second panel discussion in the afternoon along with him. I also welcome Dr. Parvati Venu, the learning and development specialist. I welcome you, ma'am, who is the moderator of today's morning session. I would like to extend a special welcome to Dr. Srisha Bhatt, who is the managing director of Akanksha Charitable Trust, who is the man behind the success of this conference. I welcome you, sir. I welcome all our esteemed volunteers and members of Akanksha Charitable Trust. I welcome each one of you. I also welcome, I like to extend my heartfelt welcome to all my NSS program officers from the constitute colleges of the NITI Deemed to be University. I welcome each one of you. Through this conference, we aim to provide a platform for our young minds to share their ideas, learn from each other, and develop valuable skills. Thank you once again. Let us make this conference a memorable and enriching experience for all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is now time to ceremonially inaugurate the National Youth Conference. I request all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to come forward and inaugurate the National Youth Conference 2025 by lighting the lamp. is for formally inaugurating the National Youth Conference 2025. Due to unforeseen health reasons, Ms. Uma Mahadevan couldn't join us here today in person, but she will be joining us later online. Our chief guest for this inaugural function, Mr. Praveen Kumar Kalbhavi, needs no introduction as we have already seen him in panel discussion 1. I now request him to address the delegates.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and all the members of the youth conference. It's really to be here in this event. I think you heard me enough during the panel discussions about the entrepreneurship journey and whatever little that I could share. But now let me touch upon a little bit on the macro level about the whole entrepreneurship journey itself. India now, right? India is definitely, it's in a golden era. And again, thanks to all of you, because now the average age of an Indian, the median we call it, is 29. That means India has a lot more young people like you, right? So what does it mean? It means that there are opportunities, and you can scale up, right? There are less number of people like me who are older, right? So you can have another 30 plus years of career. That means, you can be a successful entrepreneur, or you can be, taking up a higher position in the ladder, and also you can be a person to really help the global MNCs. So what I was told, in terms of prediction, right, soon, I don't know the exact age, but exact year, but by 2030 or 2035, India will have 30% of the global workforce. So that's a huge number, right? So that means you think of globally, anybody working, any companies, 30% or 25 to 30% is Indians. So it's a huge opportunity for us. And if you look back in the last 20, 30 years, IT services, or in general services, has been the landmark for India, and India got a lot of respect globally, right? Otherwise, India has been always seen as, people with a lot of, our country with a lot of poor people, cows on the road, and things like that. Now it's not that way, right? There are a lot more global respect, and that's on the services side. But now we are in an era where we can take it to the next level. For example, on the manufacturing, as you all know, there are a lot of initiative happening towards Make in India, where government and also private companies. I was just doing some, this thing I'm part of some of the industry association bodies in Mangalore. So there are hardly any companies which are fourth generation. There's 2, 3, or, I think third generation is some 4 to 5. So now this is a generation, if I look at, in the last, 30 years, there have been a lot more companies. So that means, the ecosystem in India on the entrepreneurship is very strong. Just to give the fact today, the registered startup itself more than 130,000 in India, right? And more than 110 unicorns from India. Unicorn as a concept started in the last, 10, 15 years, and we have more than 110 unicorns. So there is a huge opportunity. And of course, on the other side, skilling, more number of people getting graduated, all that is happening. Of course, not that, we have moved from developing country to developed country as yet, but I think we are definitely in the right track in terms of becoming, or rather reaching there very soon. And of course today, it's a third or fourth largest economy in the world, and there are only 2, 3 countries which are ahead of us. And with the talent pool that we have, and all of you, as youngsters, you have a huge opportunity. So that means there are 2 ways to look at it, right? Now the country is in your hand. Either you can make it successful, or if the youth gets diverted to the negative side of it, it may affect also. So country is betting on you. So thanks to this kind of an initiative, which is really focusing on helping the youth on the entrepreneurship journey, and trying to get them, and I'm happy to say that more than 250 registrations have happened for this particular workshop, which is just focusing on helping you on the entrepreneurship itself. Okay? Even after 250, even 100 companies start, 30 companies are successful. That means you can generate many jobs. Again, going by the trend of number of jobs, there are not too many jobs. So it is not that you can bet on just jobs. I told you the talent pool is there. More people are getting graduated, but existing companies across the industries, including IT, can hire only so much. Again, to give you some statistics, around 15 lakh engineers are coming out every year in India. I'm assuming it will be at least 3-4 times of that on the other graduation. So where do they go, right? There is not so much of a hiring happening. So you have to have more companies starting, and this is the right time. We call it ecosystem is very, very strong with government support and the technology mentors, the domain mentors, and the funding part of it, and also the incubation centers. When I say incubation center, just to give a fact here, in and around Mangalore, there are 14 to 15 incubation centers across the education institutions where the students as well as some of the budding entrepreneurs have started their journey, where there are academic mentors as well as the industry mentors. So the system is there. It is now up to you to really grab and make it happen. Now, fact that I come from the industry, let me share a few points on the opportunities, right? One, obviously, on the IT, right? Anything on the IT in terms of Gen AI or anything is really hot. Second, there are a lot of things happening on the healthcare side. I think, as I mentioned in the morning, across the industries, technology plays a foundation. So, healthcare, technology on the healthcare is really, really picking up. And the third one is high-tech areas, which is like drone, IoT, space, in that area. There are a lot of startups happening in that, and then again, a lot more opportunities. We already landed in Mars. We can do much more, right? So that's another area. And the fourth one is obviously the typical your e-commerce and SaaS and those kind of things. Because if you look at the foundation for those are your basic website and internet, but now you put Gen AI. Now if you look at everyone is trying to apply Gen AI into every kind of a business, right? It could be an enterprise, it could be a small startup, it could be a HR function, it should be a legal function. So everyone is trying to apply. So you think of using that in your own area where it can be successful. And of course, there are opportunities in FMCG area and retail, and then of course, fintech is another area where a lot of the startups are happening across the globe. And even Mangalore, I'm part of KDM, which is a Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, where one of the initiatives, trying to take things outside Bangalore. So the initiative is called Beyond Bengaluru, and I'm part of the advisory panel for that, where we are trying to get more companies to come to Mangalore, also help more companies to set up in Mangalore. So one of the focus area for this initiative is to look at fintech as a focus for this region. The reason being, obvious, 4 of the national banks or 5 of the national banks originated from this region. So the fintech is already there in your thing, and also there are multiple startups in the fintech space already established here. So we are trying to get all that experience together and also help. There is already a fintech policy that we have been working with the government, which is underway, anytime maybe rolled out, and that should help further if you have any thoughts on the fintech. So just to summarize, I think it's a golden era for all of you, and you are at the right age. In fact, I jokingly tell some people that I should have born 30 or 40 years later, because there are so much of opportunities now to really be successful in your career. So use this opportunity in the right way and take all the help that is required, and there are enough so-called part of the ecosystem that you can leverage on. And I want to thank this kind of initiative from Akanksha and the NITE Institute to really help the entrepreneurs to succeed and help them training. See, I don't call it as a training, it's more of mentoring and assistance. When you hear from the experts, you will really get to know a lot more on that. So wish you all the best, and also I want to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
I now request the president of today's inaugural function, Professor Dr. Suma Barlal, Deputy Registrar, NITE deemed to be University, to deliver the presidential address.
Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, the panelists who have come to our university, and my dear youth. Yesterday, I was watching on TV, there was a podcast on people, and I'm sure most of you would have watched it. Any guesses what I'm talking about? Yes. It was by the co-founder of Zerodha. It was Nikhil Kamath who was interviewing the Prime Minister, And for the first time, to be honest, I am someone who is awed by the personality of the Prime Minister, to be honest, like the rest of the world. But in yesterday's podcast, there was one more element, something special to it, and that was about Nikhil Kamath. So, to me, Nikhil Kamath came across as someone who is young, who is educated, who is very intelligent, and most of all, he has a fire in his belly to succeed. So, my dear youth of today, you people, as Mr. Praveen said, you people are forming the majority of our economy, that is the Indian economy. You are young, you are highly educated, and I'm sure the world is going to be your stage. And with this kind of programs, I am happy to say that NITTE University along with Akanksha is organizing this kind of programs for the youth. And my dear youth, please make the maximum out of it. Learn from the industry leaders. We have eminent panelists here. Learn from them, and with your own intelligence and hard work, I'm sure you people will be successful entrepreneurs. And as he said, that today the ecosystem is just right. We have a lot of support with the Make in India startups by the government of India. You have industrial leaders, you have mentors in your college, you have the incubation centers. So I'm sure many of you today will end up to be proud entrepreneurs of tomorrow, like some of the successful people who are sitting here today. So wishing you people all the best. I thank all the entrepreneurs who have come here to be panelists, who are part of our NITTE University program. Thank you very much. Wishing you all the best in life, and God bless. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sri Shabbat to deliver the vote of thanks.
I'll make it very short. First of all, respected President of the function and Chief Guest of the function, and all the delegates, panelists, and members of our organization in NITTE. I heartily thank the President of the function, Professor Dr. Suma Ballal ma'am, for being here, and I should, from Akanksha, I really thank NITTE University, because we are doing multiple programs with NITTE since last 2 years. The connecting dot is, of course, Kumar sir, Vice Chancellor. Everyone is so supportive for Akanksha to conduct such a big events. So I really thank NITTE. So I request Puneet to hand over memento to ma'am. Also, we have this Praveen Kalbhavi sir. As he said, how the powerful LinkedIn is. I have connected him through LinkedIn only. So thank you so much, sir, for being here. And he's really praised a lot about our organization and all the works that we do. Thank you so much, sir, and we need your support in the coming days as well. So I request Shashi Kumar sir to give the memento. As I said, there are some connecting dots, right? In the same way, Shashikumar Shetty sir is the one who is a pillar for this program, because we used to conduct these type of programs earlier in some other venues in the Mangalore. But since 2 years, we have opted this university to conduct such eminent programs. So I really thank him, and also I thank him for the presence of this program. Thank you so much, sir. So also I thank all the speakers, delegates, delegates, and the members of our organization for making this event grand success. Thanks one and all, and also we have the other programs coming up. Thanks everyone.